Hi, this is Brian from datavized. Welcome to the TwoTone introductory tutorial. TwoTone is a data sonification tool for creating sound and music from data in spreadsheets. It's a web app made by datavized with support from the Google News Initiative. In this tutorial, we're going to go through some basic functions of TwoTone, how to create a simple composition and export an audio file. So let's get started. The first thing we need to do is select a data source. In this dialog box, you can upload your own spreadsheet, but for the purposes of this tutorial, we'll select one of the samples that's built into TwoTone. So we'll pick Honey Production in the USA. And before we dive in, let's use this Show Data button to bring out a preview of what our data looks like. And we can see there's a number of columns with different numerical values in them and about 15 rows of data. So first, TwoTone automatically creates what's called a track. This is the musical scale. There are a couple different types of tracks. We'll just be using musical scales for this tutorial. And it picks the first numeric column available, which is the year, and it has an instrument. Just pick the piano. So let's see what that sounds like to start. Okay, so the musical scale by default setup just plays one note per row, where each note is higher notes corresponding to higher values and lower notes corresponding to lower values. And because the year just descends, we have an ascending scale. Now that's not very interesting, so we'll pick a different column. Let's pick total production in Honey over the course of these years, which goes up and down. It's a little more interesting. And let's play that back. And I'm going to pick a different instrument, and let's see what that sounds like. Okay. So we can create additional tracks. We'll go down to this add button here and pick another musical scale. And I'll pick average price per pound and another instrument. And this way we can hear multiple columns at once. And let's see what that sounds like. And these are the basic controls for creating musical scale tracks. Now, if we can click on either one of these and see there are a number of additional options that we can play with to make different columns sound more different, or add more layering to make more complex compositions that change things like rhythm and scale based on how the values change. And we go more into that in some other tutorials that are available on the website. There are a couple of last general options that we can try. So one is to adjust the duration. This is 15 rows of data and 1 row of data per second for 15 seconds. We can adjust, it's all one value. We can adjust either the total duration or the single row duration, or adjust the tempo depending on what kind of target length and speed of playback you want. So we'll make this a little bit faster. We'll play 90 BPM. So that'll be a 10-second composition instead of a 15-second composition, so it'll play a little faster. And the last option we'll explore is for speaking the title. This is interesting for accessibility reasons. We can have use text-to-speech to speak whatever text we want at the beginning of our file. So we'll type in Honey Production in the USA, and we'll just use the default language and voice and play that back.
Honey Production in the USA.
Great. So we'll call that done, and the last thing we need to do is export an audio file. So let's click the export button, and we just have an option here of choosing our output format. We have MP3, which is a compressed audio file. We can select our bit rate. This is useful if we want to share it online and it creates a smaller file. Or we can choose a WAV file, which is uncompressed and higher quality. So this is great if we want to take our audio track and import it into some other software to mix it with other audio or make it part of a video. So let's just export that. And because it's so quick, it exports really fast, and we can save that file on our desktop. And now we can use that for whatever we want. So that's the end of this tutorial. Thank you for joining us. And we have a number of other tutorials and examples available on TwoTone.io. So I encourage you to explore those and play with the app on your own. Thanks very much.